Hey, good morning. Good morning, XMT 89. If you can hear me okay, can you just put a yes in the comment section? I just want to make sure my audio is working. I think it is. I'm just going to give everybody a few minutes and then we'll start going through the chart for this morning. Hey, Mike. Good morning. How are you today? If my audio is okay, Mike, can you just give me like a thumbs up in the comment section? Oh, good. Okay, thank you. Things are quiet around here this morning. We're expecting a big winter storm, freezing ice and snow over the next 3 days. Hopefully this is the last of it. I just want to give everyone just like a couple more minutes and then we'll just jump right into the chart and take a look at kind of what's significant on the charts this morning, if that sounds okay with you. It's Friday. Happy Friday. I think the March 31st is Monday, so we have one more day in the month to go. I took a trade this morning pre-market off the bearish breaker. And I'll just walk everybody through the bearish breaker setup this morning because I think that area still might be significant later today. Hey, Gonzalo, good morning. Good morning, dear folks. All right, so let's just, it's 9:06, let's just get started. I'm going to start off on the daily time frame and then we'll work our way down. I was just saying that I took a trade pre-market this morning off the breaker, the bearish breaker. And we'll just kind of take a look at that area because it's an area of interest that I'm keeping on my chart for later today. But let's go to the daily and we'll just work our way through. Show you what I've got on my charts. Maybe you can share with me what you guys have on your charts. So pretty much we are bearish. Okay, let's just start here. So we had this imbalance that I had put on my chart last night. Make my chart really big here. So I had this imbalance that I put on my chart last night, and the imbalance is when there is a significant gap between two candles. So this green thing here is my daily imbalance, and so we came down into the daily imbalance yesterday. You can see we were about just a little more than 50% of the way through it, and then last night price continued down and closed in that imbalance. So that was a significant area for me to watch last night. Then looking below that, I have put on my chart 50% of this daily wick. So this long wick here, this green candle here, this wick, this is my 50% consequent encroachment of this wick. And then I've put the bottom of the wick as areas of interest that price may want to gravitate to. Let's take this off. Okay, this up here is the last high that I have on my chart. And the way that I mark my highs and lows are with the two candle method. So a candle up and a candle down, that marks my high. Conversely, a candle down and a candle up marks my low. So the bottom of this daily wick is my last low that was made. So if we break below this low, it's significant. And when price is ready to go higher, It'll be significant when we break above this high. Right now we are in between this high and this low. So now I need to look on the lower time frames to get a better idea of kind of what's happening in this range between the high and the low. So I just wanted to explain that that's... Oh, you took that short as well, Gonzalo? That's great. Let's, when we get there, I'd like to know where you initiated your trade. So maybe we can share that information. All right then, so let's go down to the 1 hour. I'm just going to take my new day opening gap, new week opening gap off for now, just so we can focus specifically on what's happening. So this green area up here, this green is my daily imbalance that we have basically filled in, but I'm just keeping it on my chart because it gives me a framework. Here is our settlement price from 4:14 yesterday afternoon, and here is current price. So this is our opening day, opening range gap so far. It's only 9:10, and I'll just make adjustments to that gap as we move closer to 9:30. On the 1 hour, this is my high, so a candle, an up close candle and a down close candle. This is my hourly high here, and then my hourly low is a down close candle followed by an up close candle. So the lowest point is my low. So I have my high and I have my low on the 1 hour. Down below here is that 50%, that red dotted line here is the 50% of the wick on that daily candle. And then this red line down here is the bottom of that wick. So this area here is an area of interest in case price wants to move lower. That is an area of interest. Okay, let's move down to the 15-minute. There are no other fair value gaps on the 1 hour. So when I don't have many fair value gaps on the 1 hour, I drop down to the 15-minute. And I have found this fair value gap, this 15-minute fair value gap that initiates from in here. This is a significant area that I'm watching. So I just wanted to highlight that. Hey Trina, good morning. Okay, carrying on then. Let's take a look at what happened last night. Last night was a beautiful setup. Just overall, it's everything that you would want from an overnight setup. So yesterday morning, we talked about how we want Asia to range. We want Asia to range so that it generates, engineers liquidity. And so last night, Asia did exactly what it's supposed to do. It was ranging. Okay. So when we have Asia ranging, we can expect London to sweep Asia. So this is anyone who's trading London overnight, this is what they want to see. They want to see Asia range. And then we want to see a sweep of Asia. And then we want to see a move down, and that's exactly what happened. So that was a perfect setup for anyone who was looking to trade London last night. Anytime I trade London, this is what I'm looking for. But I want Asia to range. As price was falling, it created a bearish breaker. And I'll just put that in so that you guys can see that. So we had a high. Then we had a low. Then we had a higher high. And then we had, oops, higher high. So London came down, but this is also the bottom of the breaker. I mean, you could say that the bottom of the breaker is here, but you know what? You could look at it either way, I guess. So here's the breaker in the yellow here. So we have a high, a low, a higher high, and a lower low. And then our bearish breaker are the down close candles before the up movement. So this range of black candles here, this is our bearish breaker. London, we dropped down into here. Price started to reverse, and I added a breaker block, or sorry, an order block here. This is my order block. And I took my trade in around here. I waited for confirmation, and then I took the trade from here back up to the bearish breaker, because we know that when price drops out of a breaker, they tend to return to the breaker. So that was my trade from early this morning. What time was that? Yeah, it was around 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock. We had a little bit of chatter in here, and I'm just going to take this out, and then price dropped right back into the order block. As we can see now, price is moving up. It's 9:15. Let's see what the reaction on the bearish breaker is going to be. Anyway, that is my overall kind of what happened between yesterday morning and this morning. Take a look to the chart on the 1 minute. Okay, let's go to the chart on the 1 minute. Where did you initiate your trade, Gonzalo? Yeah, I don't know why. Did we get some news or something? We had news at 8:30 this morning, but I wonder if something's happened. So let's just take another look here. Let's just do a refresh. We had core PCE. Core PCE came in hotter than anticipated. So the forecast was 0.3%, and core PCE price index, it's month over month. It's not like it's year over year, but it's 0.4%. So it's slightly inflated. And then at 10 a.m., we're not even there yet. We have revised consumer sentiment, but it's an orange folder, so I'm not really too concerned about that. Is anyone noticing if there's either Trump or Elon in the news this morning? Anyone have any insight? Let us know. So let's see now. Gonzalo, where did you take your trade from? Where did you take the short from? Did you take the short right from the bearish breaker this morning? Let's see what time that was. 6:48. Touch the breaker. Okay, so it's 9:17. We still have a few minutes before the market opens. I'm just going to put a line here denoting the 9:30 open. Oh, the other thing that I just wanted to mention is that for most of the overnight, we have been below midnight. So here's our midnight. And then here's our candle open. So midnight at midnight is right here. Right? So this aqua blue line, this is what we're looking at here. So for most of the night, we have been below midnight. So we know that when we've been below midnight for a significant period of time overnight, we can anticipate that price will want to go above midnight in the New York AM session probably. Okay, so price came back up to that bearish breaker. $19,942. Let's just take a look. So Gonzalo, you went short somewhere around here. So price came off the breaker. You went short somewhere around here. Yeah, it would be great if we could share screenshots for sure. Anyway, I think that's what you mean, is you're kind of around here when you took the short back into the order block. Anyway, let's just go back up to the higher time frame for now. And anyway, that's the kind of overview of what happened between the market closing last night and then the overnight session. But this London trade was a nice London trade, and often we can see this around, well, usually at least 2 times a week, sometimes 3 times a week. You'll see this setup. I used to get up a trade London a lot, but I just don't anymore. So back on the 5 minutes here, let's just take a look at the 15. So here was manipulation. Just take a look at what time that was. Oops, this is manipulation here. So basically we had accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution. And this is known in ICT as power of 3. Power of 3. AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So we want to position ourselves for the times of distribution right here. So just watching to see here now. So this is on the 5 minute. This is our mitigation block, as Gonzalo pointed out. So that is a block that does not break the previous high over here of London. So it falls short and then just falls down again. This is called a mitigation block. Well, that upward movement certainly made our opening range gap quite a bit smaller. So for anyone who's keeping their journal up to date, if you take a screenshot of accumulation, manipulation, distribution, this is to me like perfection when it comes to trading. If you can see this 2 or 3 times a week, this setup, Asia ranging, manipulation, and then a drop down. So over here, oh, let's take a look at what time this happened, 2:20. So another just little tip that I learned from Mulham Trading. He's such a great trader, so he specializes in London. I think he lives in London, actually. I learned from him that manipulation does not happen before 1:30 a.m. So if you think you see manipulation, like say over here, well, this is 1:05. Manipulation does not happen before 1:30 a.m. Has anyone else heard that or heard Mulham say that in one of his videos? Anyway, it's a tip that I learned, and it served me really, really well. I was up so early this morning. My dog was like a little shocked when I woke him up to say, come on, I'm ready to go out for a walk. I want to go to the cafe and grab a coffee before the day starts. He was like, what? It's too early. It's too cold. No dog wants their mom waking up earlier than normal. Anyway, I dragged him out. And he was happy once we got out there. So we did not break this low here. Did not break this low here. So we've been up here, we've been exploring this price just below this breaker block twice now. So I wouldn't be surprised if potentially price is going to come down here this morning and explore some of this area down here. It's 9:25. Let's see what happens. Yeah, every dog wakes for breakfast, right? It's like favorite time of the day. Actually, Gonzalo, to your point earlier this morning about wouldn't it be cool if we could share screenshots, I'm using software that I can enable having like one guest on at a time. I think I can like share a link and then the person just uses the link and jumps on so that we can actually have a discussion. You know what? That would be fun in our community, is if we kind of shared having someone on for pre-market analysis. What do you guys think of that? Put a like one in the chart if you guys would be open to me figuring out how to do that. And then in the mornings it'd be more like a co-host kind of thing. I think that could be fun. Can you guys put like a one in the chart or in the text box if you think you might be interested in participating in that? Oh, don't everybody be shy now. Come on, people. Be more like a coach's corner in a sports environment. Could be fun. Yeah, there we go. Read this. Oh, that would be, yeah. So read this. That would be awesome. So I'm going to figure out over the weekend how to have a guest on, and then your picture will pop up on the screen. So there'll be the two of us, and then we can talk through the morning analysis. Okay, cool. All right. I'm going to figure out how to do that over the weekend. And then next week, we will co-host. I think that would be really fun. It's much nicer than texting, and sometimes you just want to get on the chart and kind of explain what you're seeing. All right. I'll figure that out for Monday. We can give it a try anyway. We're on the 5-minute chart here. I'm just going to throw $9.28. We have a couple minutes until market opens. So we've got the order block down here. We've got the bearish breaker up here. We've got the opening range gap here. Midnight across the top. I removed Asia high and low levels because we've already gone through them. London has moved through them, so I've removed them from my chart. They're no longer relevant. And let's see what happens. I am looking for A++ setups. Like I say, I already had a good trade pre-market this morning, so I am only looking for A++ setups. Yeah, Trina, it would be fun. Thanks for your input, Trina. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to just go down to the 1 minute. Let's bring up ES. And the market is open. I'm just setting up my levels here for my 5-minute high and low. This was our order block. Let's see if price moves through it. This red line is my 5-minute low. Price needs to close below it for it to be legitimate. Those are first two candles are long candles. We have our third candle here, watching for the first presented fair value gap. Still no fair value gap. This is our London low. And I'm going to drop a fib on my opening range gap. One, two, three, four. Here's our fifth candle. Now forming, still no fair value gap. I'm going to remove this order block. I feel like it's a little bit dated. So we've closed in this daily imbalance area. We have this bearish breaker here. We've still got our opening range gap. This is our previous day low here, yesterday's previous day low, so we are below yesterday's low. So our fifth candle has formed. So this is the 5-minute low, and this is our green 5-minute high. Price did not break the 5-minute low. And we have midnight up here. So again, price has been below midnight for most of the London and pre-market session. So this is an area of interest to me for price to go higher than midnight. That's what I anticipate price to do. You know, we still don't really have our first fair value gap. We have this small one here. It's our BISI. Immediate rejection from the 5-minute high candle or the bottom of the open range gap. This is now my new low. My new 5-minute low, because it's a candle down followed by a candle up. And my 5-minute high is now here, candle up followed by candle down. So I'm just making adjustments there. Price has come down. We've swept this liquidity here. We've swept this liquidity. London low. No other fair value gap on the 1 minute other than this tiny one here. Yeah, ES failed to make a lower low, that's right. Wonder why my indicator failed to notify me of that. Good eye. XMT. A lot of wicks again this morning. Gosh, I've noticed for the past 2 weeks we've had so much price action with wicks, like significant wicks. Wicking here. Price has been respecting this first presented fair value gap. Still respecting. It's 9:42. Still a bit early for the macro. Let's see if price wants to come back and retest. Whoa. Still respecting this first presented fair value gap. Still respecting. We have 10 seconds left on this candle. It's completely acceptable to have the wick outside as long as the body doesn't close below. Hail, Maura. Good morning to you. Just went down and filled the volume imbalance from last Friday. What time frame is that on, Moira? What time frame? Let's go back to the 5 minute. Take a step back. So we've swept London low. Had a strong rejection above the 25% of the opening range gap. Oh, on the daily, Maura? Okay. Did anybody notice any significant news that dropped at about 9 o'clock? Because market really jumped up pretty quickly. Did anybody notice anything? Either with Trump or tariffs or anything that you noticed on any of the news channels? Let us know if you noticed something. Okay, I just keep adjusting my highs and lows on the 5 minute because I'm looking for that 5 minute break of structure. So here is my new high because I have a up close candle followed by a down close candle. So that's my new 5 minute high. And my new 5 minute low is still here. Down close candle followed by an up close candle. So I just keep adjusting those because those are my main metrics. EU concession for US tariffs. Okay, boy, tariffs are really dominating the news headlines. That's for sure. I think we've only had like one smooth day for the Scarface 5 minute candle high and low strategy this week. Like price has been bouncing up and down, and the strong rejection here, it just shakes my confidence in wanting to trade this strategy this morning. My preference is to just kind of wait. So now it's 9:49. We have 1 minute before the macro starts. Let's see if price can show us some favor. On the 1 minute, which of course is a low time frame, we have a lower high, but we are failing to make higher highs. So right now price is just in a consolidation kind of, we haven't made a higher high. Here's our new low on the 1 minute. Here's our high. Here's our high on the 1 minute. So it's the range is kind of like between here and here, between these two bissies, basically. Now, if we look at the higher time frame, we've already been up here. Price has already been up here. We're up here for London high. We failed to make higher high. We have come back into this bearish breaker twice, but failed to break above it. So overall, price is showing weakness this morning. So I'm still favoring my framework or idea that price will want to come down here and explore. It might move up to the 50% of this opening range gap, but I'm kind of feeling like we might come down here and explore first before moving up. And we've already filled this imbalance. This green block here is the imbalance on the daily, but it's already been filled. We are not seeing many fair value gaps, so that's, another sort of indication that price is just chopping around. May start to develop SIBI here. I tend to drop my fair value gaps onto my chart and then adjust them as the candle nears completion. So we've got our SIBI here. Price moving back down. We could drop our order block on here. ES has made a lower low. And a rejection. No order block on the 1 minute. Low, high, failed to make a lower low, so we don't have an order, or we don't have a breaker block. Price may want to come back, tap into this SIBI and drop lower. ES making attempts at a lower low here. Not sure why my divergence indicator is not working. I'm going to check the settings after, but we could just kind of eyeball it. Inverted fair value gap. See if we get a drop below the 5-minute low candle here. I want to check my low 5-minute levels. Here's my new 5-minute low level. So we've dropped below it. We'll see if this candle closes below it. And here's my 5-minute candle. Okay, so there's a 5-minute break of structure to the downside if this candle closes below this red line. And my 5-minute high is adjusted to here, because we have an up candle followed by a down candle. So that's my new 5-minute high. The price has not broken below this low yet. Just seems to be taking its time. We have a low, high, lower low. See if this inverted fair value gap holds. Yep. Rejection off of it. So again, below we have this 15-minute SIBI down here, and then this red dotted line is the 50% of the daily candle wick. It's the consequent encroachment, this 50%, this dotted line here. That's a point of interest for me. So 9:59, we're still in the macro, and it's still just really working this area here, respecting this inverted fair value gap. Not giving us any other fair value gaps. Got this one. SIBI. Big wick to the downside. Order block still being respected. It just feels like another sloppy morning, doesn't it? Hi, Graceful Trade Journeys. Thank you. You as well. So messy. This is the kind of price action that I don't care for. I don't like the long wicks because it's very hard to put in a stop loss that will be respected. See if we get a break below this 5-minute candle threshold. Buyers stepping in here. Just going to switch to the 5 minutes. I'm smiling because my dog is deeply snoring. I don't know if you guys can hear him. Sounds like I have an old man snoring on my couch. Yeah, this is really ugly. No fair value gaps, just a lot of wicks here. See if price is interested in coming down to this 50% of the consequent encroachment of the daily wick. Now this is not a sell limit sitting up here for any reason. My habit is to sometimes just throw these on my chart if I'm anticipating something, but it's not a sell signal to go short or anything, so don't misinterpret me there. It's just how I set up my anticipated trades. But it's definitely not, I'm not signaling anything. I would need price to come back here, retest, and then show weakness, but this could just continue dropping. I do have a 5-minute break of structure to the downside. Where's my break of structure? Down candle followed by an up candle. Here is my 5-minute break of structure to the downside. Break of structure to the downside, I just put a negative sign. So here we are at the consequent encroachment of this daily candle. I'm going to quickly show you what that looks like if you weren't here earlier on the live stream this morning. Right here. See this candle here? This is 50% of the wick. That's where we are, and we outlined that this morning as a point of interest. The bottom of the wick is down here. It's the next red indicator or line that we have, and then this is our 15-minute SIBI. I'm just going to take that off the daily. But this was my point of interest this morning. It's come here, so let's see where we go from here. That's why it's so important to have a close relationship with the higher time frames, because it's really easy to get lost in the chatter. But if you have a framework or an idea of where you think price may want to draw to, it keeps you kind of grounded. It's like a compass. So let's see what happens at this 50% area here. This red line here is the 5-minute Scarface candle. So price would have to come back here and then drop, which is probably not likely to do at this point, but so we're in the bottom of the 15-minute SIBI here. Just broke the 50% consequent encroachment of that wick. price may work its way down to the bottom of that wick, which is the next red line. And that also coincides with right here, these wicks right here. So not only is this the bottom of that daily wick, but it has multiple touch points here. So you can see that this is an area of interest here. Hey, Yukon Marco. How about a pullback for silver bullet? Yeah, I think, let me put it this way. When you look at this kind of price action here, it's really important to know, like, what kind of trader are you, right? Because I can look at a chart, you can look at a chart, and you could see a potential trade like every 15 minutes. Like, honestly, right? Because there's a fair value gap that forms every 15 minutes. So if your strategy is silver bullet or really anything, I guess the consideration here is that right now price has had a good rundown. We know that price isn't going to run down forever. We've already hit the 50% of that consequent encroachment. At this point, the trend is bearish. So if you're going to do a silver bullet and you're going to do the pullback of the silver bullet, that is a counter trend, which is fine. I've traded counter trends many, many times. But this is not my strategy. And for anyone who's on this live stream, you guys know that my strategy is reversals. I trade reversals. I trade breaker blocks, unicorns, and reversals. When I look at this price action here, it almost strikes me as like a breakout. A breakout trader would trade this, it's not my strategy, and it's taken me a long time. I'm in my 3rd year of training. It's taken me a long time to not chase every trade that I see, because I've been there, I've done that, and I'm starting to evolve in my personal journey that I wait for my trades, and I know what my trades are. And I know this is a really long answer to your question, Marco, but I took a reversal pre-market this morning. So, I'm looking for the A+ setups for me for my, and I'm just going to share something with you guys. here, I'll just show you this. This is my trading journal. These are my four strategies that I trade, and I pretty much stick to all of them. The Scarface candle range, so that didn't work out this morning. My TJR, that's my 5-minute break of structure. My 2022 model, liquidity sweep, displacement break of structure, fair value gap, and then the unicorn is my bread and butter. So I'm very, very clear in my own mind what my strategy is. And so for me to think about looking for a silver bullet as a counter trend trade, I just wouldn't, like me personally. But if your strategy is counter trading and silver bullet, then you have to be firm in your mind that that's your strategy and that's what you're looking for. But I have spent like a good deal of time becoming very disciplined in the type of trades that I take. And I have let go of the need to want to trade everything that I see. I've been through that, and it no longer serves me. My preference is to, because price has come down this way, we know price is not going to continue down forever. It could turn around at any time. We are already 50% through that long wick on the daily. So I'm content, even if it drops down to the bottom, which it may or may not, I'm content to just wait, because I know that later today we're going to get that reversal, and we have not been above midnight. Okay, and again, anyone who's on this channel, you know how important that midnight at midnight is for me. Let's go back to the 15 minutes here. Here's my midnight. Here's my horizontal midnight. Price has been below midnight all through the overnight session. And so it's very rare that price would not come back above midnight. It doesn't have to, but generally it does. And I'll be ready for that reversal when it comes, because that's my bread and butter. That's what I trade. And they're high probability trades. And like I say, I already took one reversal this morning. So I just feel like I'm going to wait. Yesterday's gap close. Yeah, let's just go back to the higher time frame here. So we have, here's the bottom of the wick. And then from there, I have these hourly areas here targeted. I'm going to get rid of this order block. It's no longer meaningful. Price is getting a little bit weaker in here. We no longer have any fair value gaps. The golden trade, if you will, what I kind of look at. Let's go back to the 5-minute. The golden trade is to recognize accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So I'm going to go back. Here's accumulation. This is what we want to see Asia do, right? We want to see Asia accumulate. Right here, this was our manipulation. And manipulation has to happen after 1:30 a.m. and this happened at 2:20. So here is our manipulation. And then all all of this is distribution. And that is the goal. That's always been my goal, is to be able to get in on the trades at manipulation and hold them and just hold for the day. And then if you take your power of 3 candle, let me move this stuff out of the way here. Here is my power of 3 candle. And so power of 3 candle works with this accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. And so the idea is that to really have the good runs of the day, like your 200 points, you want to enter the trade at the wicks of your daily candle. Now, this is a 24-hour candle for me. If you click on this, you can adjust. Here, my candle I keep on a 24-hour candle because I'm looking for that accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Now, you can change your candle to a 4-hour candle or an 8-hour candle, like if you just want to specifically work on 4 hours of the daily range, you can do that. But I that's why I watch Asia London and then the New York session as a complete entity, if you will. So the idea is that when you can identify manipulation, as London gave us this morning, this is where you want to enter. You want to enter on the wick, and then you want to ride the distribution, and then you want to exit at the low. So that is how to use, or that's how I use the power of 3. And I'm not there yet. Like, I'm still recognizing this on my chart, and I've been watching it like for a year, but I'm still not a trader that's at the point of being able to say this morning at 2 a.m., oh, this is manipulation, and hold it for the entire day. I'm not there yet. I hope to be one day. I'm just not there yet. And all you need is, let's see, 1990, so let's just say 20,000. You know, this is what, like that's a 300 point run right now. If you can identify manipulation and do this a couple times a week, that's all you need. Easier said than done. I recognize it. I can see it. I recognize it. I can look at it and say, okay, that was manipulation, but it's a lot harder at 2:20 in the morning to say, okay, I'm going to go long here with like 3 contracts and hold it for the day. I think over like 3, 4, 5 years, hopefully I'll be there, but I'm not there yet. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys, that's what I'm personally looking for, are these big runs. I'm not a scalper. My mind is on the big runs and being able to identify that area of manipulation when it happens. So I hope that's so. When I get excited when I see Asia range, because I know that London's going to give us the manipulation. I just don't have that. I haven't evolved as a trader yet to be able to jump in on this, and maybe I should jump in on this with micros. Maybe that will help my development. Anyway, I just wanted to share that's what I look for as the bigger picture of trading for me, for my style of trading. Just for fun, I'm going to grab my calculator here. I love numbers, so like just for fun, let's say we have a 300 point run this morning, and it's $20 a point. So that's $6,000 if you had one mini. If you entered up here in London and just held it, you're at $6,000. But just like, let's just say you trade with 5 minis. There's your $24,000 day. How many of those a month do you need? A couple? Do you think you could find this a couple times a month? That's pretty nice trading, isn't it? Yeah, please give a thumbs up, guys. I appreciate if you could just like, share, subscribe. I'd appreciate if there's any value on this channel, and I think there is. I think not because of me, but because of you guys. So starting next week, I have this software that pre-market. We're going to have one of you come on as a pre-market guest, and we're going to do the pre-market together. So I'm just going to figure out how to do that on my software over the weekend, and then we'll start that on Monday. That one of you, I think I just send you a link, and then your little face pops up, and we'll do like a pre-game, let's get our chart figured out kind of thing, and we'll do this together. I think it would be a lot more fun than just me talking or whatever. Anyway, that's on the agenda for next week. All right, so we're coming up to the bottom of the daily wick. Yesterday afternoon, after we closed the session at about 11:30 yesterday, 11:45, I had to go. Remember we had that bearish breaker block that had formed, and then price just kind of kept dropping. It never returned. Did you guys see at about 12 o'clock, 12:10, that price came right back into that bearish breaker, and then it dropped. And I was out with my dog, and I missed the first run, but I managed to take the trade when price came into a SIBI, and so I got the second distribution off that trade. It was a beautiful trade. Like it was $1,000 trade. It was 900 or something, $980 or something, but it was beautiful. It was like everything we were waiting for in the morning session, that it's just like price was dropping. And I think I said to you guys, like, just be patient because price returns to breaker blocks. So I was really happy to get that. I was really happy to get that trade. It's just sometimes the hardest thing about being a trader is like waiting patiently for your trade to come. So one of the things I just want to look at right now is, let's go to let's take a look at the week, because often on Fridays, price will move on Fridays 20% of the weekly range. So here's our Monday. This is on the hourly. So Monday we had big run up, and Monday was the high of the week. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and now Friday, we've just been coming down, basically. So we may, Monday, this is where price opened here. So if we were to drop a fib on the weekly range, let's just do that. So our high to our current position. And then let's take a look at optimal trade entry. So this is our range for the week. And so if we were looking for a 20% pullback for the week, because that's often what Fridays do, that would take us into about this area here, because this is 50%, so 20% would be about half of that. So we might have a pullback to about 20% of the weekly range. Anyway, so this has been the week. It's just been a bearish week. But we knew at the beginning of the week that the daily The daily candles were telling us that we were bearish this week. So, and now price has come full circle here and completed. Here is the buy side of the curve and the sell side of the curve. And we could still come down to this low here, which again, if we expand, this is the buy side of the curve and this is the sell side of the curve. Thank God it's Friday. So we have one more day. Monday is March 31st. So we have one more kick at the can on Monday, and then we close out the month. Okay, so we'll go back to the smaller time frames here. So next time, I better pay attention. Not that I wasn't paying attention, but my 5-minute break of structure. That 5-minute break of structure is, I have found to be a reliable and dependable metric. When price breaks 5-minute structure, often we can get, these kinds of runs. And that's what TJR's trading premise is all about. And I think what I may have to do is, if I decide to focus on that, maybe starting next week, I think I might move down to micros, just because I haven't been jumping in on these 5-minute breakup structures. I've been watching them and I've kind of been like monitoring them, but I haven't been participating in them. So I think what I might do next week is I might move to micros, and I might begin to participate in the 5-minute break of structure and entering these trades and just let price play out. If we had taken break of structure here, so 19,839, subtract 618, that's at 221 points this morning. And even just with one contract, that was a $4,400 move from here, and here was break of structure. Here's the 5-minute break of structure. Now, so TJR, if you follow him, if you go back into my live streams, I have in one of the titles TJR's strategy, and you can click on that, and it's his strategy, and I've broken it down into timestamps. So you can kind of go to like the main section of his strategy and take a look at it, but it is the 5-minute break of structure. So what he talks about is he waits for the 5-minute break of structure, then he moves down to the 1 minute to find his entry. So let's just say we got our 5-minute break of structure this morning right here. And then let's say we move down to the 1 minute. Where would our entry have been? So we were still in this big chop thing, because here's the 5-minute break of structure, this red line here, right? Make sure I have the right one. Yeah, so I'm just going to remove this, or just disregard this one here. This is the 5-minute break of structure. So if we had followed his strategy and said, okay, I'm going to do the 5-minute break of structure, where would I have entered this on the 1 minute? Well, this SIBI here, it would have been difficult unless you put your stop loss like above the SIBI. But with this kind of price action, it was still like kind of like difficult, right? But then the next area would have been this SIBI here. Wait for this to form, wait for the candle to come up, and then take the trade. And then there would have been our 210 points. So I think maybe next week I'm going to start focusing on the 5-minute break of structure and then just entering the trades on the 1 minute time frame. But I'm going to do it with micros so that I can pyramid in and out if things go south for me. Markers are fun. I just got the 120 points from the consequent encroachment of daily wick to the bottom. Oh, that's awesome. Very good. TJR, I'll just put up his TJR trading. He's 22 years old, multi-millionaire. He's very vulgar. He has mostly like young boys following him. And so he's pretty vulgar, but anyway, like I can see past that. Sometimes he's funny, other times he just like shocks me, but like if I was his mother, I would like never be on his YouTube channel, because I would just be I would be like traumatized. You'll know what I mean if you like log on to some of his YouTube channels. He's too much. He's funny. I think he's funny. But so anyway, TJR trading, and I think like a couple weeks ago he just did a 5-hour complete A to Z his trading strategy, and it's just really, really simple. So he does follow ICT concepts. So he follows breaker blocks, order blocks, fair value gaps, SMT divergence. Those are his core. They're my core principles. They're his core principles. That's why I kind of gravitate towards his style of trading, because we have a similar style of trading. He doesn't discuss power of three. He never talks about London. He doesn't look at any of that stuff. He is just really mechanical and simple. 5-minute break of structure, enter the trade, let the trade play out. So that's how he gets these huge runs every day. I'm sure later today I'll log in and he'll have like a $30,000 day today, no doubt. Gonzalo, you were in a job meeting. Don't you hate how jobs just interrupt your trading? Okay, so it's 10:39. Usually after a run like this, price bounces around a bit. So I'm just going to watch it for a while. I'm trying to divide my job with trading. I get it. I totally get it. But I'll be coming back. I'll be looking for something like later today. I'll be looking for the reversal. Just 1040. For those of you who are going to stick it out, there'll probably be the macro starting at 1050. So the other thing that I'm going to put on my chart is I'm going to take this high to this low, and I'm just going to mark on my chart the optimal trade entry. So if price dials back, this is where it's most likely to go, between 62 to 79%. And I'm just going to keep this on my chart for the rest of the day as a potential target for price to move back into here. And that gives us a bearish breaker, low, high, low. We might come back up to here and then drop again today. Anyway, we'll see what happens. I know sticking to one strategy is difficult, but I guess it just depends where you are in your trading journey. You know, if you're not yet profitable, just sticking to one strategy can get you there because you're just 100% focused on it, and then you prevent yourself from over trading. But once you've mastered one strategy, you know, you can add another strategy to your repertoire, and then add a third one and a fourth one. And eventually, you know, like I have 4 that I like to trade. But the reversals for sure for me are, I guess, my go-to. Aw, thank you, Yukon Marco. Marco, are you up in the Yukon? Or am I just reading like more into that? Isn't Yukon like a dessert too? Like a chocolate dessert? I don't know. So, got our low right here, came right down to the bottom, exactly where we thought it was going to go, right? Let's go back. Here we are. No surprises to this group this morning. We knew it was going to come to the 50% of the daily wick, and then here's our bottom of the daily wick coinciding with buy stops and sell stops down here. And what exactly happened? It wicked, and now price is moving up. We all saw it this morning. We anticipated it. No surprises. So next time, we'll grab those 200 points. But next week, I'm gonna trade with the micros, and I'm gonna trade the 5-minute break of structure. Take the trade. Along with my unicorn. So there we are. We should all be very proud for whoever saw this, anticipated this, analyzed the chart. Step number 1 is determining where price is going to go. And that's like more than half the battle. Because if you don't know where price wants to go, or you don't know where price is drawing to, then it's a guessing game. And we're not here to gamble. This is not Vegas. We're not gambling. We are strategists, and I think together we did a pretty good job this morning in determining where price would go. So yay us. Let's go back for a second to the daily, just in case anyone wasn't on here early this morning, but right here, that was the 50% mark right there. And here is the bottom of the wick that we talked about. And look where price is today. It wicked down, and now it's starting to move up. So there we go. And it may, like, I find that after price makes a move like this, it'll bounce around for a while. So I'm not going to get involved in anything here, but I am going to keep my screen up for the rest of the day. I'm going to look for a reversal. I've got my OTE up here for a target for price to potentially pull back into this area. And take that off. Yeah, so that's kind of where we are. We never really did much with the opening range gap today. We swept 25%, but so choppy up here. This is not something that I would get involved with myself because I hate getting wicked out. But once price cleared this 5-minute break of structure, things started to roll. And that was at approximately 10:05 that market decided to choose a direction and then kind of work it out. So anyway, guys, I think I'm going to end the stream for today. I thank you for joining and contributing this morning, because a community with diverse experiences and eyes on the chart, we can all learn from each other. So I would appreciate if you would like, share, and subscribe. And Monday, I will figure out the my software, and then for whoever would like to join me at 9 o'clock or 9:10, you can let me know in the stream. I'll send you a link, and then we can co-host the morning strategy, and then let's see how that goes. It could be fun. Could be a lot of fun for us to do that together. Okay, guys, and we'll see you guys. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you next Monday morning. So, peace, joy, and happiness. I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.